Okay, we got that. I'm waiting for it to.
Sorry about that.
That's why we're restricted.
Okay, there we go.
R-rated farts.
Took a second, but there we go. All right.
Apologies.
All right. I think we're live on Instagram for the very first time ever. This is so exciting. Okay. I think we are. If someone can verify. Know. I didn't. Somebody, a couple people joined. All right, we're good. I think we're live on Instagram. All right, welcome to Crossing the Streams, everyone. We're gonna kick off with a theme song real quick while people stroll in. Mick, take it away, my friend.
Here's the story of some lonely fellows who spend way too much time watching the TV. All of them had jobs and friends. Well, not really. Just between you and me.
All right, Zack.
They made a live show out of their hobbies. Every TV watcher's TV watching dream. Jeff and Ron and Sal and Bob and sometimes old Saint Mick. And there's also Marcy. They call it Crossing Streams.
All right, Ron. Take it
and then one day they went live on all the platforms. You could hear the people laugh and shout and scream. Still can't find another word that rhymes with platform. But man, wait.
We crossed the stream.
Everyone together.
We crossed the stream.
We crossed the stream.
We crossed the stream.
That's the way we do it. We crossed the stream.
All right, welcome to Crossing the Streams. We are live on Instagram. I figured it out. This is our very first show streaming live on the gram. What is Crossing the Streams? It's where we answer the universal question, what should I be binge watching next? I just finished something and now I got to watch something else. Well, you've come to the right place. We have over 135 hours streaming on our YouTube channel. Can you believe that? That's right. If you're on Instagram, special for Instagram, let's see, you can type in hashtag YouTube and I'll DM you the link. So you can get yourself hooked up with that, which is cool. And so that's it. Yeah, we got a couple of special guests today. We got old Saint Nick himself, Mick Manhattan. Santa Claus is joining us. Mick, tell us a little bit about the Scene Snobs and where people can catch up with you.
It's a pretty fun channel. Go check it out. We have fun doing it. Lots of good people over there. So we talk all things geek. We talk movies and TVs especially. So, yeah, we love doing this. So please come over, hang out with us, join the Snob Nation, and let's have some fun.
All right. And Zack.
Hey-o.
Zack, man. Zack's got 1,000, at least 1,000 podcasts going on. I've been on many of them. So tell everyone about yourself real quick, my friend.
Yeah, so we're part of Some Nobodies. Dylan's my writing partner. We have really honestly forced nominations for many, many awards on all of our podcasts. So that's some kind of critical success in our point of view. We actually took a year off of doing all of our shows. Instead of trying to do them live and working super fast, we wanted to fine-tune them and work on them and craft them and be able to put them all out at the exact same time, the exact same week. So we're working on a whole bunch of really weird stuff. We got a lot of cool voice actors going on. A lot of fun. A lot of fun is coming.
That sounds like fun. Definitely check out all of Zack's stuff. We'll plug our podcasts as we go. But if you've come to, we got some guests. We got Fred Carroll. Hello, Fred.
Hello, Freddie.
Hi, Fred. A friend of the show, frequent guest. Lee is what's going on.
Lee, how are you, sweetie?
Hello, Lee. Good to see you.
Lee is awesome. So good to see Lee and Jerry recovering from his surgery. He's like a robot. He's half robot now. And
he's Colonel Steve Austin.
Where's Rosner? We want Rosner has promised to come back and do at least a guest show sometime in 2024. So we're excited for that.
Sometime next year.
Wait, you got him? You got him next year? Nice.
Well,
he's 3 years out on my side.
That's a hell of
a
try.
Can I address this the world's greatest Springsteen podcast?
Yeah,
that is a bold statement, and I will be subscribing, sir, because I love Springsteen.
Wow.
But anybody who can call it the world's greatest Springsteen podcast when he has an actual podcast. I give you credit.
Well, that's Aaron, and that's Marcy's brother, and he's been on the show, and I think he is. I mean, if you go follow him on Facebook, he's like, I got a ticket to U2 that I'll trade you that and the $10,000 for one fish ticket. I mean, I don't know what Aaron life he's living, but it's not the same one as me, and it seems really, really exciting.
I love it.
Scott Curtis has got a new podcast coming out. We got so many fabulous people here, and why not? We're celebrating the end of the year and our first time on Instagram. This is exciting. Wow. I hear they cut us off at an hour. So that's the rumor. So if you're watching on Instagram and we get cut off at the hour, then you know what to do. Just
go to YouTube.
Now live on Instagram, is that Threads? Is that what Threads is?
No, live on Instagram is like Instagram Live.
Oh, okay.
Used to be you would have to go and you would have to actually have the phone, and like you could only go live on the Instagram. So now they have it where you can go live while we're doing this. It's weird because it's like we're horizontal like this on a vertical screen. But hey, we'll take it. All right. So what do we got? So hey, most of us are from Michigan. So big Michigan news is the new Beverly Hills Cop trailer, which I gotta say looked pretty awesome. I gotta say,
I'm in.
Eddie's looking better in the Lions jacket than Harrison Ford looked in the Indiana Jones jacket.
Yes, yeah, that's for sure.
It actually looks really good. And then here's Marcy's mom is with us. So it's fun.
Much support from my family.
Marcy, that's why Marcy's half our audience is Marcy's family. I'm really excited about Beverly Hills Cop. They got everyone. It looks like they have almost everyone back, so it's pretty cool. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah.
I hope it's better than Coming to America. I didn't like the second one.
I think it will be. I think that went off the rails a little bit, and this one has sort of been reined in.
Well, it's Coming to America too. Is like, hey Eddie, could you try to look like your character? Nah. No. You get me.
Yeah.
I'll just be there.
Yeah.
I liked it though. I thought it was just fun fan service. It was a fun fan service thing. So.
Yeah. Why does everybody diss fan service? It's all it means is giving the fans what they want. It's like, just give them what they want. Who cares?
That's
the whole point of entertainment.
We're just giving people what we want. James Healy.
Well, we don't want to be
Instagram.
We don't want to be cheap about it.
Frequent guest of the show.
Well, there's a difference between fan service and doing things for the fans. Fan service is like, the Solo movie. That's fan service, where it's something that you think the fans want, which is a young Han Solo story, but you don't give them anything to kind of grasp onto. There's no more lore. Star Wars fans are all about lore. So if you're doing fan service, you kind of want to give them things to talk about and kind of fight about, instead of just throwing things up and say, hey, remember that? And hey, remember that? And Coming to America was just like, remember this, remember this, remember this, remember this. And that doesn't make a story. That just is telling you to remember a better story, which is terrible content. So,
well, I'm a fan and I want service.
There's such thing as good fan service, though. I would say something like Sonic, where the fans,
there is good fan service
out, and it's where I think it's where fans don't get to. I know. I'm sorry. I'm gassy tonight.
Ron got a fart machine, and he's like, he's like a 6-year-old boy. He's like, ah.
No, I'm looking at Marcy's giving me the mom look. Like, seriously, dude. Really? I'm looking straight at Marcy.
Because Marcy's mom is.
We're live on Instagram.
It's a family show.
Yeah.
I'm still laughing at Bob being like, I want service. I'm a fan. I want service. And it better be.
I want service.
The fans want more farting.
I'm putting it away.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, everybody's got a show allotted tonight, right? But I was a latecomer, so I don't have one. you guys mind if I jump in with just a quick minute on something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say everybody here tonight, and probably everybody in the audience, had seen Love Actually prior to 2 nights ago, right? Okay, I'd never seen it.
Oh.
And I have a hard time sitting still at home to watch a movie. And I thought, I want to watch this movie. And I love this movie. I need some answers on some of this stuff. Some of it I found out on Google, but I need opinions on this, okay? Because this is such a, I don't remember when the movie, it was 20 years ago, and I don't remember it being a big stir, but it's sort of a gossipy movie. People want to talk about it the next day. And I wanted to keep all my questions for tonight. I need to know what you guys think about the very end, where it's a month later, right? It's now mid-January, whatever, and people have gone and come back from where they were before, and they're back together. They're in the airport, blah, blah, blah. The characters for, it's Harry and Karen, Emma Thompson, and why can't I remember? Alan Rickman. He's the douchebag that had an affair on her, right? And she found out because she saw the present that she thought was meant for her, but she got a Joni Mitchell CD instead and realized that he had given this gold necklace to the hoe bag in the office. There was no indication there that they actually hooked up, right? Did you guys feel that?
I got that they didn't.
Okay.
That he wants to, and
I
she
did too.
hurt him. Yeah.
I did too. Now, it didn't matter to Emma Thompson. She was still broken in half by what happened. The crying scene was like the most believable I think I've ever seen on screen. But I read today that the screenwriter said, yes, he had it off camera. And when the question I had for you at the end, where Rickman and Emma Thompson are looking at each other. Hi, how are you? I'm fine. You fine? You good? It's this chilly sort of reunion. Were they back together? Did they ever split up? Did they decide to split? What happened to those two?
I think they just I think the biggest thing you get taken away from that, and I'm actually glad you said that, because I always looked at it as they didn't. But I guess once she is putting on a necklace, that could be their way of saying, like, okay, he finally did. It happened, and this is where it went.
See, I always kind of took it, not to cut you off. I'm sorry, I didn't know if you're, but I always kind of took it that they hooked up, but they both realized it was a mistake. Like, it was a rebound kind of thing. And like, then they just kind of went on their way. Like, it didn't mean anything, but that it did happen. That's kind of how I took it.
That the coupling.
Yeah, but it didn't work out to be anything significant. Just
right.
Because,
like a one and done. And Emma Thompson knew it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the screenwriter said. But in the movie, you don't see them. You think that it got thwarted by the fact that she found, that gift in his pocket, and that he never got to go do that because she confronted him with it. But I don't know. I'll have others. Please go on with the show.
No, please keep besmirching the memory of.
You want to hear something cool about those movies?
Snape. Yes.
Snape, yes.
So they were Alan Rickman and Emma Thompson played a married couple in that, and they were both in Harry Potter together.
Yeah.
Emma Thompson was actually married to Kenneth Branagh in real life, and they were both in Harry Potter together. Kenneth Branagh and Emma Thompson broke up because he cheated on her with Helena Bonham Carter, who was also in Harry Potter with all of them.
Wow.
So everyone's problems stem can be right to Harry Potter.
It's like goddamn kid.
Well, hey, Bob, there's a Love Actually reunion special that I know you'll love, and I believe it's on Hulu.
Is it new, or is it just?
Well, to you, it's new. This is all new to you. So
it is. It's all new to me.
That's all that really matters. Is that And then if you're ready for a space adventure, there's this thing called Star Wars you can check out. After that.
I think somebody alluded to that earlier. Someone named Han Solo. I don't know.
That's a newbie. That's a new one. Up and comer George Lucas.
Yes.
Should be good.
Should be good. Should be good. So, all right, Bob. Well, I'm glad we were able to help you out there.
I have others. I'll pop them in later.
Yeah. For
Bob
sure.
is doing the 2003 catalog. I'm like, I got questions.
I got questions.
I really do.
He's got questions.
I got my AOL disc in the mail today. I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right. Well, all right. We got a good show. We got a great show ready. Last episode you can find on YouTube. Episode 135. We talked about Family Switch, the epic show War of the Worlds, Alias Grace, and the OG Star Trek show.
I'm watching that currently now myself.
Yeah, that was good. And then today, what do we got today? We got Godzilla -1. We're going to take you down Candy Cane Lane, Leave the World Behind, and Reality. So we got quite a show. This is quite a show. Let's it was because half the audience is waiting because it was supposed to be last week. So let's do Reality. Let's talk about Reality. Marcy, take it away.
I loved Reality. I'm just going to start with that. That's all I have to say.
All right, everyone go watch Reality.
So good. Sydney Sweeney is amazing in this. She's from Euphoria, and I'm not sure if that's ever been talked about on this show. It's one of my favorite shows, Euphoria. Anyone ever talk about it on Crossing the Stream?
No, you have to cover it on another.
I will. It's phenomenal.
She was also in The White Lotus, which
she's from White Lotus. Yep. Handmaid's Tale.
Season 1 or no? Season 1.
Season one.
She's a daughter.
Yep.
And Ron would recognize her from The Handmaid's Tale.
The Handmaid's Tale, correct? Yep. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's been in quite a few shows.
Quite a career.
She's really good in this. So Reality, that is her real name, Reality Winner. This is a true story. Yeah. And I never knew about this story. It really is about the 2016 election. She basically, Reality Winner is a former Air Force linguist that's surprised at home by the FBI and interrogated at her house. This really happened. And the best part about this is that the FBI presses record on a little recorder, and they record the entire day. And the entire script of this movie is the real words coming out of everyone's mouth. So how easy is that? They were like literally handed the script. So it's a true story. They have the whole transcript. It's all from the FBI's recording. So basically, she was charged with leaking evidence of Russian interference in the U.S. 2016 election, and she was given a record-breaking sentence. The transcript basically tells a different story than what we were all told when she was, being arrested and when she was going to prison. And it's just very, very interesting. The best part for me was how well Sydney Sweeney played this role of Reality Winner. She's a true American. She's, all she wants in this time in her life is she just wants to be deported again. She wants to go back and fight for her country. In the meantime, she's being interrogated for something that she did that was probably right. And currently is on probation. I believe she went into like a halfway house in 2021. So in 2017, June 3rd, 2017, she was arrested. That's the day that this whole thing takes place. And she stayed in prison until 2021, went into a halfway house, and now she's on probation.
What was her crime again? What was her crime?
So she leaked, she found some documents about Russian interference in U.S. 2016 elections.
Oh.
She got out of the building with it. With her job, let's see, she was an NSA translator. Okay. Not a dumb girl. She wasn't thrilled with her work environment. She complained that they had Fox News on all the time. No one listened to her. She was getting very frustrated in her environment. She saw some things that she didn't like. She ended up leaving the building with them down her pants. And she leaked them to the media, and they were able to find that it was her, interrogated her, knowing that it was her. But when you're watching this movie, like I said, this is all word for word, everything that these guys say to her. It's really what was said because they recorded the whole thing. The director is Tina Satter. She started this out as a play, and then they turned this into this documentary film, docufilm. So once again, it's an hour and 20 minutes. How great. How often do we get to see something that's great where when we're not have to sit there for too long? Oh, it was 2 hours and 20 minutes. An hour and 22 minutes maybe on Max. Perfect. And her acting is incredible. I was already a fan, but now I'm a huge fan, and I really hope to see her get some sort of nomination for this because I just felt that she did an incredible job. Yeah.
Chuck Hone in with the one-liner of the night.
It's just very interesting on a story that I had never heard about. She was compared to a Snowden, and I highly recommend that you go to Max and watch this for an hour and 22 minutes and form your own opinion on it, and you will definitely not regret it. It is entertaining, and the acting it's pretty good, and you can't beat the script. It was just exactly the language that took place, and it's just it's well done. I enjoyed it.
I love anything that's 90 minutes or less.
That's right.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Oh,
that was me, actually. That time it was me.
All right.
You can't beat them.
Jeff is like,
Well,
I think
Marcy just got in from a girls' night out.
Your brother to watch the show, so that's good.
Seriously.
If you're watching on Instagram and you're wondering if you comment along, if you on YouTube or Facebook, they don't have it on Instagram yet. Then we can put your comments up on the screen. You can chat along with us. I'm keeping an eye out though for you. All right, Marcy, that was awesome. All right, so everyone,
Great review.
check out
Nice job.
HBO Max Reality.
Whew. I'm sorry.
All right, let's hit up the next one. This is a one that I'm really let's stick with the let's go with the Christmas theme and
nice.
Candy Cane Lane, the new Eddie Murphy movie.
oh boy, you asked me if Christmas movie, right? And I was like thinking about ones, and I wanted to bring up the fight about how Die Hard is not an actual Christmas movie, and I was going to take the Lethal Weapon approach to this, and then I was like, maybe I'll do something more people have seen, like a Krampus, something funny. I was scrolling through the TV and I saw this brand new Eddie Murphy Christmas movie, and I'm like, Eddie Murphy has been pumping out nonstop gems for the last 0 years. So let's see what he's got going on. Now, if you ask Eddie Murphy or about Eddie Murphy to some people, they're going to tell you he's a great actor. And I could try to tell you and fight it that he's not proving it recently. Coming to America, as we've seen, the second one, not very good. This movie,
I'd argue Dolomite's very good though.
okay, Dolomite's great. I had nothing bad to say about that. That's a great movie. But that's a passion project from him. What I found out was that for Eddie Murphy to do the next Beverly Hills Cop, right? Paramount got him to do 2 very bad movies that they sold to Amazon. Only 2. One is Coming to America 2, and the second one is Candy Cane Lane. And that's so that the Paramount would pay for him to do the next movie, which he actually cares about, which lets you know this guy got passed by. But this movie, I had no idea what it was about. I didn't watch the trailer, didn't read anything about it, literally just hit play. I'm like, give it to me. I'm going to go in fresh.
I warned you, right?
You did. You actually told me not to do it. And I'm like, sometimes I'll take a bad movie. I'm okay with that. Let's see what the AI generator is pumping out now. So this movie, what I found out, is directed by Reginald Hudlin. If that name sounds familiar, he's the guy who did Boomerang and also House Party and Uncle Buck, the TV series. Not the movie, TV series.
Yeah. Kevin
also,
Meaney.
it's written. What's that?
With Kevin Meaney?
Yes. Wait.
No, he did the one with Mike Epps.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was written by a guy named Kelly Younger, who has only written 2 Muppet movies in his whole career. But it stars Eddie Murphy from movies like Boomerang and Nutty Professor 2, and also Shrek 2. So we're in some high quality area here. You also have Tracy Ellis Ross, who's from Broad City. You also might have known her from like Blackish, and Julian Bell, who was amazing on Workaholics and is in everything since that. 22 Jump Street, everything funny. She's amazing. Now, this movie started, and it's a pretty normal Christmas movie, right? Chris Carver, who's Eddie Murphy, he has crafted his own hand-carved decorations for a local neighborhood Christmas decoration competition, but he's never won. Oh shit!
What the hell was that?
What was that?
It's
Oh my
almost like
God,
he got sucked into Tron or
Somebody
something.
needs to check on him.
First of all,
Cameraman!
either there's a demon in that room, or
I mean, that was
he's
like,
tuned at the moment.
I mean, it's one thing just to disappear, but I mean, I think
got,
literally
like-
he's in a video game right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got warped into somewhere.
Are you okay,
Wait, is
Bob?
this happening? Is this a Jeff thing or is this a Bob thing? Because
No, this is a Bob thing.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
okay.
there.
Oh,
Okay.
he's
Oh,
there.
you're still there. Oh, thank
I'm
God.
here.
All he is,
kinda.
all he is a computer
Fucking
now.
light.
Bob doesn't know how to work his fart machine.
He's
He
trying.
needed
Right?
exorcism.
Bob
Oh.
became
That's so funny.
the
Bob's
guy that we were afraid
Bob's on
of.
the phone. Do you want us to call 911?
My
Link,
camera was unplugged. What?
Oh man.
Oh, here we go.
It just
Oh, the
looks
lights.
so-
Okay, this. I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that.
Oh,
No, that's-
Wow.
We're just glad you're okay.
There was a big
Yeah.
flash, and then you know.
Bob,
I'm
Bob,
so
who is
excited
that
to like
behind
watch
you?
that back and see how that happened because it was
I
like,
know that was amazing.
oh, so cool.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll
That's funny.
explain that later.
Towards the-
So Chris Carver, right? And he makes his own holiday ornaments for outside in his yard. He makes them out of wood, and he has never won this competition that is in his neighborhood. And I'm like, cool. It's like a Jingle All the Way kind of thing, or like one of those movies where they're just trying to outdo each other, right? But shortly before Christmas, he gets laid off. And now what's he going to do? His family needs money. His wife can't make it all by himself. This is insane,
She could
right?
get an OnlyFans. Come on.
You can
Well,
open up a
that's true.
daycare.
2022.
He could be scrolling on TikTok. Every other one is how to make $100,000 a month.
That's right.
Selling
What are we
digital
doing?
products that you can turn for a $5 or a quarter and sell for $100 million.
Well, what he decides to do is he finds out that this contest for his neighborhood decoration now has $100,000 grand prize to it for some unknown reason. Because now there's like news flash cuts in this movie, and there's 2 news reporters that are giving you weird exposition dumps. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Now that it's televised. I don't know. So now Chris is out looking for supplies, right? Him and his daughter. They're out and they stumble upon this mysterious Christmas shop that is underneath a bypass of an overpass interstate. And this thing is full of beautiful decorations, all like handmade and beautiful. And he sees this thing, and it's called the 12 Days of Christmas. And it's this huge tree that like has every single day of Christmas. It wraps around. It's one of a kind. And he's like, this is what I need to win this contest. Now that I don't have a job, I need $100,000. And this one thing that I'm going to buy for $100,000 is going to win me that prize. But he has to sign this contract, right? It's a
Oh.
very long, weird contract from some crazy elf woman who works the shop, whose name is Peppermint. So once he signs this, before
Oh,
he signs
God.
the paper, a bunch of ornaments that are
hurts.
made of glass start talking to him and telling him, whoa, don't sign the paper. But he signs the paper anyway, right? And it turns out there's a whole bunch of small fine print that we'll get to later. So the next day, decorations are gone, and he like puts this thing up. And the first night of the newscast, it's beautiful, right? The thing goes off without a hitch, fireworks. Everybody's like, holy S, this is the best house I've ever seen on this road, on this news broadcast. So he goes to bed and he's feeling great. He's going to win this $100,000. He wakes up next morning. All the ornaments on the tree are missing. They're all missing. That's crazy, right?
That's nuts.
What-
That's
what-
crazy.
That doesn't make any
I-
sense. They're made out of wood. What's happening to him? Mom goes to
Out of
work the next
wood.
day. She's about to have a promotion, obviously, right? She's going to have a promotion. So she has got to get to work. She's wearing her favorite outfit. As she's walking to work, eggs start falling on her. And they're coming out because there's geese laying flying over top of her. And now all these ornaments are real. And they're causing havoc throughout this entire city.
On Candy
All for
Cane
Chris.
Lane.
Throughout the city, my God.
Ah,
everywhere. Like there's geese everywhere, there's swans everywhere, there's turtle doves everywhere, but some of them have tiny gold rings on them. And you're like, I wonder what that's all about, right? Then Chris finally reads the fine print on the paper. And it says that by 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve, he's got to bring the golden rings to somewhere, or else he gets turned into a glass ornament. And dang, that's going to be kind of hard, right? So for the next hour, Chris has to figure out how to get these 5 golden rings off of these crazy animals that are running everywhere, including, for no reason at all, these javelin guys that show up at his daughter's track meet, where she might be scouted by Notre Dame because she's an athletic goddess. But these guys now have javelins, and they're just chucking javelins all over the thing. Doesn't cause a ruckus for anybody else, except it trips her up, but she breaks the rules, so she doesn't get into college. So, oh well, we need this $100,000. So we got to get back to this Christmas thing. So it takes about an hour. They finally get these 5 rings, and then they go to tournament. And they go, "Ha, got these rings." And she goes, "Why'd you think there's 5?" And he's like, now keep in mind, this is at the 2-hour mark. And I'm like, this is have to wrap up pretty quickly, right? No, it doesn't. And it's because the song does not play just once. The song plays 5 times, right? Because when you sing it, you sing the whole thing 5 times. So it's not 5 rings. And I cannot figure out how they did the math. It's 40 rings they got to go find. So now in the next half an hour of this movie, 5 minutes of movie time, it's like 7:55. He's got to get 35 more rings. It sounds impossible.
I was angry at 5 rings. I'm furious with the 40.
Yeah,
5 made me angry.
Utterly
40, yeah. I almost broke my television in half. I was so angry. I looked at my watch. I'm like, I hate Jeff Dwoskin so much. And it was the kind of thing where I just got,
one guy that tried to save you from watching this.
I thought it was
literally used the words, "I would never
it,
subject you to this."
But, when you're back in film school, when you're back in writing school, you learn that when you're writing something, the plot should go as something happens, therefore something else happens, or something happens, and then something happens because of that. This movie is only for no reason at all, this happens. And then for no reason at all, this, like, the wife is talking to her bosses that are from out of state because she's got the best packaging plant ever. And then for no reason at all, there's a turtle dove just in one of the boxes in styrofoam. And you're like, well, and then everything is like, oh, and then for no reason at all, now they're at a running meet. And then for no reason at all, there's this and this and this. And it is crazy until you get to the very end where you get a solid reference by David Alan Grier as Santa Claus, and I'm pretty sure he's a pimp in this, and I don't know. Also, Nick Offerman is a little glass man, and Ken Marino is like the neighbor that always outdoes everybody because he has all the blow-up dolls. It turns out it's $100,000 worth of tacos, and this movie made me hate my life, and I think I was mean to my wife last night because of it. So I came on the show to apologize to her on Instagram Live.
I'm not even married. I'm going to get married and be mean to my wife for having heard that.
I was so upset that I did research on this movie to figure out why it was so bad, and it turns out it's Axel Foley's fault, and that's 100% it. But the thing is that I kept watching it because I'm like, how is this gonna? And I don't think I laughed once. And I was very irritated. I was very irritated at the part where she said it's 40 rings. And I'm like, I don't like Christmas anymore now because of this movie.
You know what that reminds me of?
Eddie
him
Murphy
getting that
ruined
movie?
Christmas for Zack.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get that tattooed on my back. Like Eddie Murphy ruined Christmas.
Terrible.
For the that reminds me of I don't know if you guys knew this, but this has got to be over 20 years ago. Emilio Estevez, he's doing those awful Mighty Ducks movies. That's all they would cast him in. And so there was a Mighty Ducks 3 to be made, and he said, I'm not going to be in that thing. And but he wanted to make Bobby. It was a biopic about Bobby Kennedy. So the studio said, you do Mighty Ducks 3 and we'll finance Bobby. So he does Mighty Ducks 3, and of course it sucks. And then he makes Bobby, and it sucks even worse. So it was a deal made with the devil, and the devil made out.
Yeah.
All right. So
very
save
crazy
Christmas, save your love of Eddie Murphy, save Zach's wife. Maybe send her a Hallmark card. Do not watch.
Yeah.
Candy Cane Lane.
I
Apparently.
don't know how you finished it. I don't know how you did that.
I really
Not all
thought it
heroes
would
wear
wrap up in a
capes.
way. I was like, oh, I was thinking there'd be like maybe like a Tim Allen reference. I'm like, oh, it's in the Santa Claus universe or just something crazy. Nope, it was just bad. It was just bad.
All right. Well, let's go to one that I know everyone does love, that I've heard really
Yes.
good things. Godzilla -1.
I want to hear this.
Monsters are the thing again, and Mick Manhattan's going to take us through this.
The greatest gift that we can have this year is Godzilla. Of course. I love Godzilla. I think that's well documented on many videos.
Yeah, people are always talking about it.
Fantastic franchise. I love the original Japanese version is in my opinion the best but we're getting there, and that's why, because Godzilla -1 takes us back to even farther into the beginning, and this movie tells you a wonderfully dramatic tale of family love pulling together and a country pulling together to face a giant adversity. So this movie is not so much a big kaiju film as it is just like a heartfelt story, but with Godzilla. How this works out: a kamikaze flyer back in the end of the war in 1945 pulls off on Odo Island in Japan because he is nervous. He doesn't want to the war is pretty much over, doesn't see a point of killing himself. He's scared. He stops off at the island. They figure out what's going on, and he's kind of ashamed of himself. That night, a different looking Godzilla comes in and completely decimates the island, leaving 2 survivors, him being one of them. And so now they just kind of go back after the war. He's disgraced, kamikaze pilot. He goes back to nothing. His family's dead. Tokyo is bombed. He has no home. He just has rubble, whereas how home was. He has to rebuild with the help of his neighbor and a newfound woman with a child whose parents who was just offered her parents are killed. He takes this family into his home, and over the years they rebuild over the course of 2 years, I should say, by 1947. And then as they rebuild, Godzilla shows up. He's a gunner on a ship. They take out old landmines, and he recognizes what's going on when he sees another battleship torn apart, and he is nervous, and he's trying to tell everybody. So when they finally get back to the mainland, they find out that you find out that Godzilla was made by the Bikini Atoll nuclear war tests. So now he got even bigger from that. So now he is just all powerful Godzilla that we know. He steps up to Tokyo, and he not Tokyo at first. He's in different cities walking towards Tokyo, decimates that city. It's one of the greatest on-screen explosions I've ever seen. It's better than anything this year, even Oppenheimer. It's beautifully done, but it's Godzilla. He's a dick in this. He is a vicious dick in this movie. He is not the Godzilla. It's like, all right, I'll come up, I'll save you from whoever, and then go back. He is there to tear things apart. He's pissed off, and he wants to rip everything to shreds. The U.S. will not get involved because they're afraid that Russia will retaliate, thinking that they're just trying to move in. The Japanese government will not get involved because of, they just don't want to be involved at that point, but they're giving excuses at this point. So it's really just the townspeople of Tokyo that are left over to fight Godzilla. Now, I don't want to give away the ending and how they go about that, but they come up with a great plan. It's really well done. It's very reminiscent of the original Japanese version of Godzilla, like I had said. And I think it's the best Godzilla film ever made.
There's a lot of Godzilla these days, because this is the Japanese track. It's not the
Legendary has their own going on right now,
right?
Which is with Kong and the Monarch series. This is Toho only. Like, this is their version, which they've been putting out Godzilla movies pretty steadily, even through those.
Very cool.
But it is crazy that this universe, like these last movies, like, I guess started with Gareth Edwards, right? With that Godzilla movie, that was like the first one in this current universe. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, that was not this movie, not Godzilla -1, but the Monarch TV show, and those Godzilla Kong movies are.
Right, but like
Yeah.
you think like the Godzilla movie, then the Kong Skull Island, which was really really great, and then Godzilla versus Kong, which I thought was really great. Especially when you think about trying to build a whole like universe where DC failed miserably. This universe popped up, did almost the exact same number of movies, and is aggressively successful. And yeah, I was so excited to see. Where'd you see this movie? Can you stream it?
No, I went to the theaters and saw it.
Oh, right
Did
on.
you see the original Godzilla versus King Kong?
Oh, from back in the day, yeah. Oh my god.
There's another one coming out,
Yeah.
Kong v Godzilla or something
X,
like that. where
yeah, Kong
they like
X.
team up. I think they're like it's like a buddy cop movie or something.
Yeah, they come out. It's against, is it Ghidorah? I don't know. This is one of the other
Ghidorah, the
monsters.
three-headed monster.
I don't know. It's one from the old Japanese.
No, this one's a new one. This is so the way they did it in those movies. They're both titans that they're trying to keep separate because they were always meant to fight. Godzilla's in King of the Monsters became the King of the Monsters by defeating Ghidorah. So after that, Godzilla's just chilling. He's off doing his thing. They're trying to take Kong off of Skull Island, but they're trying to get him not to meet. So now they start fighting because they're called to each other. That's sort of what it becomes. In the end, they start to fight Mega Godzilla, which is Ghidorah's brain inside of this mechanism.
So sick.
Yeah.
Yes, in the center of the earth.
I have all the Godzilla movies on DVD
Dude,
in my basement. I used to draw the monsters, like little baby Godzilla was the best when you shoot the O's.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the title mean? Like what -1? What does that have to do with anything?
So when the war ended in Japan, everything was below zero. They had nothing. They had less than nothing. That's how crazy it was. By 1947, they were at zero. So because this takes place in 47 and Godzilla attacks, they call it Godzilla -1. So they're back down again.
Cool.
That's
It's a cool name.
Yeah.
It is a cool name.
It is a cool name. All right.
Can I ask Zach a question?
Yeah.
Sure.
No, don't.
Zach, is
Yes.
that hat for the 1984 movie Night Patrol?
No.
Okay.
Should be.
Oh no.
You couldn't be wronger.
Yeah. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
All right, we got one more. 3 of us have seen this, but Ron's going to take lead on the #1 movie on Netflix right now, Leave the World Behind.
I'm excited to talk about this.
It is. And who among us have seen this
Me.
fine film?
I
Dude.
spent one whole day of my life researching this movie.
All right, so
then,
there's 4 of
excellent.
us. So
Yeah, so I'm excited to hear your feedback on it. All right, so let's just talk about this for a moment. This was a bidding war for Netflix to get the rights from the book. They won those rights in 2020, produced it in 2022, came out in 2023 with Julia Roberts signing on for the lead, which is a big part of the production. Here's a little interesting note before we get into the movie itself. Who was executive producer to Leave the World Behind? Anybody know?
the Obama.
Julia Roberts.
The
Obamas.
That's
Barack
right.
Hussein Obama.
Yeah.
and Michelle.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Listen, it's the production values are actually pretty good. I'll get to it in a second. Sam Esmail is the director and is also part of the production team. Sam Esmail, by the way, is the producer director of my daughter Caroline's very favorite show in the whole world, Mr. Robot, which she's actually streaming for God knows how many times right now. I don't know if any of you guys saw that, but it's actually a pretty good show. If you like Rami Malek, and
Yeah, that was pre Bohemian Rhapsody.
that was
Yeah.
pre Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah.
I hate that movie. Okay, go
ahead. Right. Excellent. So listen, it's got a great cast, right? Julie Roberts and Mahershala I always blow his name. Mahershala Ali, both Academy Award winning actors. Ethan Hawke is awesome. There's a bit role with Kevin Bacon. The casting and I would say the acting is good. I wouldn't call it great. And for those of you who don't know what this movie is about, this is about a catastrophic loss of all navigation, internet, GPS, satellite, basically all forms of communication all go off at the same time. And then there is an ensuing series of calamities that happen to the United States. This is all centered around New York and Long Island in particular, where these folks are living, trying to figure out what's going on while the world is blowing up, apparently. And you learn more and more about the catastrophe unfolding before their very eyes. But when I first started the movie, I just assumed it was a social commentary about how friggin' addicted to internet and social media we are. Like that, what would happen now if it was suddenly taken away? Between us, that would have been a better story than what unfolded before me in this movie. It's a 51% Rotten Tomatoes score. I don't think it's particularly good. I don't think that's even good enough for where this movie takes you. As the series of calamities unfold and things get worse and worse and worse, you are, as the viewer, desperately trying to learn what the hell is going on. You're not getting the answers fast enough, and frankly, it is a frustrating ride. I will just say that the production is good. The cinematography is excellent. I particularly was pleased with the sound. The music and sound to this movie is excellent. In fact, I would go further in saying that that's the best part of the whole show, is this unsettling
the sound.
Yes.
not
and
not
for
a
those of
good
you,
thing for a movie.
And that's saying a lot,
the
because
visual
there's
medium.
a lot of sonic sounds in this movie that are
it's a lot of
and
weird
for him to
sound.
say that is the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
You got to take that to the bank. That's saying something.
So
I don't think you guys agree with me at all.
Usually when you have these world catastrophe type movies, there's some type of hopeful nugget at the end that inspires you to kind of rethink the entire process and hopefully get you to a place where you say, yes, it was terrible, but we're going to get through it, and it's all going to be good. And just a new way to think about what you just watched for 2 hours, and I think it was 2 hours and 20 minutes or whatever it was. It's also too long. This is longer than it needs to be. But they don't do that. It's a rather abrupt ending. It doesn't really amount to anything. It doesn't allow you to rethink really anything with the movie. And all you're really left with was, well, that was a shitty ride. And I don't really know where we go from here.
It sounds like Bird Box.
Yeah, it was like it's so funny you mentioned that, Bobby. It is a lot like Bird Box.
You have your fart thing? How many
can
farts would you give that movie?
Can I fart on my own?
Okay. That's my feeling about Bird Box.
Listen, I was really hopeful for this movie. Acting good, production good, cinematography good, story sucked, adaptation I'm assuming sucked, and the best thing about this movie is how unsettling the sound is, as we just talked a moment ago. So I don't recommend it. I think it's a shame. This is one of the book adaptations to a movie that I didn't read the book, so I wish I had read the book. I feel like I'd be in a better position to tell you all the things that they skipped and all the things because the book was a best-selling book. So
Ron, what I read about the book was it's just as unfulfilling as the movie.
Oh, is that right?
So they took a book that was unfulfilling and said, let's make a movie. On this unfulfilling book.
I don't know why they did.
Don't let me comments, Mick and Zack.
Let's pause there, and I want to hear the boys what they said.
Zack, you want to go ahead, or you want me? It's up to you.
I mean, sure. I have a problem, right? I have a problem, and movies are my problem. And I watch movies with the worst kind of eye, which is super attention to detail. And when something catches my eye, I get super fixated on it, and I want to know why it happened. I don't think a lot of things are just stupid mistakes, right? I'm watching this movie, and at some point, they're sitting in George's, his study room, right? And there's this painting behind him, and it's black and white. And I keep watching it, and I realize that every time they cut back to Mahershala Ali, it's a different paint. It's different. It's like more dripping. And I'm like, why are they doing that, right? And then there's a part where, and this is what did it for me. There's a part where they're showing the U.S. on screen, and they start showing categories of where things are going, and it all starts turning into blocks. And I was looking at it, And I remember pausing it, and I told my wife, I was like, what are these stupid blocks? Like, these aren't counties. What is this block? And I found out it was a QR code, right? And I scanned that QR code, and I don't know why, but this QR code takes you to visit Mercer County, this abandoned amusement park for Lake Shawnee. Don't know why.
You did this on your own.
Was that?
You did this on your own?
I did this. This is how.
Wow.
If I watch movies. If there's a phone number, I call it. If there's a website, I go to it. I dive into every movie, because if I make a one big movie, I would hope somebody cares about the details I put in all my scenes. Some of these people are getting the first time movies. They got to care about something, like whether studios are telling them story wise, something has to matter, right? Then you find out that it's actually in the same universe as Mr. Robot. Then you find out that the Obamas are producers for it, and they have this idea where the people that, like the super rich elite people that are fighting like the dumb things in the world that we never see, they all are fighting inside each other. And then one person comes out and says, well, I'll show you what I can do. And that's what this movie is. And I do not know why that QR code was there, so much so that I watched every interview with this director to find out what he's trying to do. And what he said he's doing is he's trying to put as many different nightmares together as you can possibly find in one movie, like teeth falling out and the deers coming at you, and like very unnerving things that aren't really unnerving, but you're like, why is this happening?
Right.
And he said the point of this movie is that when shit goes crazy, we got to be friends. You got to find your friends and you got to stick together. And the point of the movie is we're so hardcore ready to fight our neighbors and fight everybody else for gas, for this and that we just do not think like, let's just try to help each other out. You know, and they put people in certain situations where they should get along. Like they're in his house, but they're not getting along. Kevin Bacon has the stuff to help him. He's not giving it to him. She's looking to figure out what Friends is about the entire movie. That's about as obvious of like a through line as possible. I agree with you. It ended terribly, and I wanted something bigger. But there are things in this movie that really stood out for no reason at all, and I got excited about it.
So Mick, I want to hear your response, but I have a comment after from Zack. Go ahead, Mick.
I really liked it. I thought it was well done. I looked at it as I did not like the cinematography in it. I had a problem with a lot of the turnstile that they had to it.
Yeah,
I got it. I know what they're doing. It's not lost on me. It was just experimental and it didn't work. In my opinion, it didn't drive anything there. But the acting was fantastic. I love the idea behind it. It's different from the book, but a lot of the things that happen in the book happen in this movie. The teeth falling out, the vomiting blood, the bug bites, just a ton of them. I do like how they changed up the ending for this. I didn't mind the Friends thing because all that. The only thing about Friends that really bugged me was that it was Friends.
Yeah,
I think that's like, in the book.
Why would this little girl be so obsessed with Friends? I get.
You obviously haven't seen Friends, Mick, but it's also that way in the book.
No,
How's
but
the sound
I
in
feel
the
like
book?
you could have updated it for 2023. Like it could have worked with another show. You know, it wasn't that integral. I thought the thrills to this, it was a very thrilling. It was filmed very well. That whole boat scene was fantastic. The plane scene when he goes to visit the neighbors. I don't want to give away too much because to me, I understood it. I don't know if that means that like I just interpret it a different way or whatever, but I didn't need to know exactly what was going on. All of the explanations that were just kind of thrown out there as possibilities were fine by me. I just saw this as I don't need to know.
Yeah.
All I need to know is what's happening with them. The tense feel of these strangers together in this one house and all the problems that are occurring with it. I was like, I'm just here for this story.
Yeah.
What did you think of Ethan Hawke?
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Ethan Hawke's begging, and again, I don't want to say why because I don't want to give anything away for people, but Ethan Hawke's begging was a very beautifully done scene. And throughout, the fact that he plays this professor that is lost without the media, is lost without PR, is lost without everything that he knows how to teach. And he's in this world where it's like, I'm just a guy now.
Yeah.
I'm nothing else. Like, and I loved the juxtaposition of she's connecting with GH in the movie, Mahershala Ali's character in the movie, because he is ready. He has some answers, whether even if there's speculation or whatever, but it's educated guesses based on what he does. And I think she's attracted to that, people with answers, and that's why they get along so well. After a while, it brings down the wall. Like just everything throughout, and even how it ended. I didn't love the ending, but it was as jarring as the rest of the movie, and I really think that's what I think you're supposed to be sitting there being like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Well, to me, now, in all fairness, I fell asleep for 20 minutes and I still felt it was too long. Okay.
Yeah, how long was it?
I
That
didn't-
was
2 hours and 20 minutes.
that's
I didn't- I
2
didn't
hours
feel-
and 20 minutes.
I thought Ethan Hawke was.
If I could argue that point, because that was brought up before, if you don't mind, Jeff, my apologies. Oppenheimer is too long. Barbie was too long.
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was too long. Almost
Disagree.
okay, but almost
If you
every
rewatch
movie
it,
that's
you'll
over
notice
2
it's too long.
hours. Killers of the Flower Moon is like days long. It's there's too much that's too long, and the only thing I say, and I argue hard about Guardians of the Galaxy, is because I can think about 3 scenes that could have been cut out of there, but it's just one of those things, and it was fine because it was a send off, but like all of them are just too fucking long, and you can feel it. Sorry to curse, but they are too long lately, and it's too much to feel. That's why I love the fact that independent cinema is starting to actually go harder the other way and start making films 44 minutes to a half hour, to 90 minutes, so that way people are more inclined to watch their movies.
90 minutes is the perfect amount of time for a movie.
Perfect.
And the reason these movies are so long now is because people have gotten lazy with the
Editing?
writing. Just the writing. I mean, but you can do it on
And
Netflix
editing.
now, and it doesn't matter. Make a 5-hour movie. Doesn't matter.
Jeff, I watched a documentary last week with John Landis talking about the making of Animal House and about how much absolutely hilarious material they left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
And they had to, because the studio kept it under 2 hours, and they had to. And I just think about, if that movie was around today, that'd be a
I just saw it in the
it'd be a
movie
3.5 hour movie,
Yeah.
because that's how much content they had.
But I mean, movies can maintain that time. Like, you look at Fury Road, like that movie had no problem filling that full time. But the problem is, and like Nick said, there's just wasted shots. And for people that really care about cinema or care about movies, I'm watching these shots being like, what are you telling me in these shots? Like in the movie we're talking about, there's one shot where it shows the Earth from the moon, and it's like just spinning. And I'm like, are you telling me something, or are you just giving me like just creative like flair?
Yeah.
And then I'm like diving, like, is this like a microwave from the moon? Is this what's happening? Like, and it could just be wasted time. And that is a dragging sensation, especially when you're trying to put, an audience in a state of mind. Dragging things out does not do anything good. It makes you fall asleep and not miss anything for 20 minutes.
Well, especially when there's no payoff.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Just
Obama.
To have a shot.
I
Thanks,
disagree.
Obama.
There was a payoff, but there was a payoff if you don't look at this as an apocalyptic movie, but in a movie about strangers having to come together in apocalyptic events.
Sure.
Then
Now
there's
I'm gonna have to
because
watch
the
it.
story's over. Like, to me, there was no payoff in Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up to me was like, yeah, you got the world exploding stuff, and then you got the joke afterwards and stuff. There was like the payoff there was just cheap, and yeah, I know, and I'm letting some go. Don't be upset. No, I'm stinking myself out, so I got to end the show quickly. But I just wanted to say, like that was no payoff, and I'm comparing it because they're both Netflix films and apocalypse based. But this one, I'm glad they went a little more secluded to just tell a tale of people, not the apocalypse.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, look.
All right, I'm not going to watch it.
I don't watch it. If for those watching at home, listen. It doesn't make you think about anything afterwards. You just think about what I could have been doing for the last 2 hours.
If you want to see like 50 white Teslas just smash into each other.
Yeah, that's good. That was good. I like that part.
I thought that was a good scene.
Yeah.
Some of the
why were
visuals
they all the
great.
same Tesla?
They're coming from a factory out in Long Island.
Yeah,
but they're all white, like they're all the same cut. And I think when they zoomed out, different roads had different colors Teslas. And I'm like, why?
All cars start out white.
But
the whole time I was thinking, I was watching the film, I was like, the whole time I'm like,
we're supposed to know that they're coming from the factory.
Yeah, they
No,
said
but I
that.
mean, well, she did look at it, and
she did
said
look at
I
it.
thought they were going
It
back
had the
to the
sticker. It had
factory.
the sticker still on it. No, like I said, visually it was fine. There's some great
Hi,
visual
Jessica.
things. The boat, the cargo ship scene was amazing. But it's not enough. It's not enough. The story doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't have me thinking about it. I'm not going to wake up tomorrow thinking about that movie. It's just I don't know. Oh, and I'll just say one other thing. I will give Julia Roberts credit for one thing, and that is this. She's a upper middle-aged woman, and she allows herself to be out there with virtually no makeup and
sure.
looking like a middle-aged woman. And I actually
Julia Roberts is awesome.
I did respect that. Actually,
She can play anything.
She did not try to look like a good-looking woman at all. She right?
What does that mean?
Julia
Roberts takes. I mean,
What?
Julia Roberts
Julia Roberts.
is Big Bird. With
Julia Roberts.
All right.
Watch that movie. You tell me.
What a weird way for the Instagram live to end.
I know.
Julia Roberts didn't try.
You didn't even try to be good looking.
Yeah, she didn't try.
Out there being like a real middle-aged
All right.
woman.
Well, I guess we're at the end of the show. Can you believe it?
She sounded good. She sounded amazing.
For an older woman,
and that record collection, the bunker itself, actually.
Yeah, the bunker was cool.
Neighbor's bunker was incredible, and it did bring up so there was talk lately of like people, wanting VHS or DVDs and the importance of physical media, and that sort of outlined and showcased the importance of physical media because if the lights get turned off tomorrow and everything's gone and we're fully digital, the only thing we're going to have, everyone's coming to my house because I still got my DVD. I got the full Seinfeld in my basement on VHS. Just someone needs to bring a VHS player.
On VHS.
And electricity.
I'll set the clock on it for you. I'm really good at that.
All right. Well, that wraps up another show. If we're still live on Instagram, you can check us out on YouTube, watch the whole show and all our past shows, 135 live episodes coming at you. So check that out. What else we got? Mick, thanks for joining us.
Actually, can I promote something that we have Friday?
Yeah, please.
7 p.m. Friday on the Scene Snuffs channel, and a bunch of others are streaming too. We are doing a live script reading of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It is for charity. We're collecting for All for Lunch, which is a great, fantastic organization that is trying to end school lunch debt all across the country.
Nice.
So we're going to be out there. We're going to be having a lot of fun. We have games planned in it. We do accents. It's a whole night of events. So please stop by and have a lot of good thoughts.
That's good work, buddy.
That's awesome. Zach, my friend. Thank you.
Don't listen to me. Listen to that guy. Go check out that thing. That's way cool.
Marcy, say goodnight. Tell us what are the interest rates?
They're coming down. Mommy.
Bob and I, we're doing comedy. Is it next week together?
Yes, Thursday at a standing room only Janetti's wall theater. Tell them about it, Jeff.
Jeff DeWatskin's return. By the time I posted the poster, it was already sold out.
Yes.
So to hell with you if you're trying to get a ticket. This is me doing my John Mulaney voice. To hell with you if you're trying.
Save me a cannoli.
Yeah.
Oh, the food. I only do this gig for the food. Ron.
I may call into next week's show if we're having a show next week from Bourbon Street in New Orleans.
Yes.
Which I'm very much looking forward to. So that might be a nice live shot for the show. Otherwise, I will see you guys on the other side.
Not sure we're on next week. I think we'll see if everyone's traveling or not. It's like Christmas week,
Christmas week. So we'll see.
We had Santa this week.
Candy Cane Lane.
Yeah, we'll be all watching. All right. Well, I am Jeff DeWaskin. Check out my podcast, Classic Conversations. Fun episode, by the way. A little different episode this week. Chef Mike Harris. He was an executive chef for McDonald's, so spills all the beans on why the ice cream machine's broken. What is the McRib? All of the answers. Questions are answered.
Nice.
So it was fun. I knew him from Twitter. All right, you guys. Thank you very much. And that has been another episode of Crossing the Streams. Join us every Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Facebook and YouTube. Follow The Jeff DeWaskin Show on YouTube to be alerted every time we go live with your hosts, Jeff DeWaskin, Ron Lippett, Howard Rosner, Bob Phillips, Sal D'Amelio. We're all in the socials. Follow us, listen to our podcast, Classic Conversations, and The Sal and Bob Show. Check them all out, and we'll see you next week and every week when we cross more streams right here. See you then.